Meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, as we all are. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty, and justice for all. I'd like to welcome everybody today. Happy New Year. We're going to start with the election of officers.
Mr. President,
Yes,
I'd
sir.
like to nominate you as president of the Stormwater Board.
Thank you. We're going to do both,
Yeah.
stormwater and sanitary district.
Stormwater.
Okay.
Oh, we're gonna do both at the same time?
Yeah. Can we do that or not?
Yeah.
Well.
No, because one are directors and one are
Did you just-
commissioners.
Yeah, did you just convene the water?
Stormwater.
Stormwater director? Yes,
Yes.
so we'll do stormwater first? Okay, all right, for the
I'd
stormwater.
like to nominate him for president of the Stormwater Board.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other nominations? Nominations are closed. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Now for vice president. Can I have a nomination?
I nominate Mike Dye.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Any other nominations? Nominations are closed. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Now we need a secretary.
Secretary and assistant. Secretary.
Can I have a motion, or can I have a nomination for secretary?
I'd like to nominate Monica for secretary.
Actually, if I may say.
Yes.
We normally designate Rachel Montes and
Yes.
Kaleigh Boyle as
For
a
recording.
secretary and assistant
Reporting
secretary.
secretary, okay.
Yeah, we don't usually, our practice has not had one of the commissioners or directors serve as a secretary.
Okay.
It- Just to be consistent.
So nominate Kaleigh as our secretary.
No, Rachel is our secretary and Kaylee is our assistant.
Rachel's out of town, like she often is.
Okay, so Rachel for secretary, Kaylee,
Kaleigh for assistant secretary.
yes. Can I have a second to that nomination? We have a nomination and a second. Any other nominations? Nominations are closed. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes or nomination was. Thank you very much. That's it, correct?
Stormwater, I think.
That's, we'll do the same thing for the regular board.
Yeah, we'll do that when we get to the regular board.
Yeah,
Pardon me?
there's a minute.
No, that's it for the positions that we need. Yes, okay, correct. All right, so then we'll move on to the stormwater management meeting. The agenda, consideration of the June 28th, 2022 stormwater board meeting minutes. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Resolutions, resolution number SW 1-2023. A resolution of the Board of Sanitary Directors of the City of Hammond Department of Stormwater Management authorizing the permanent transfer of $1,327,549 from the Stormwater Fund 425 to the Sewer Maintenance Fund 608.
I make a motion to pass resolution SW 1-2023.
Thank you. Can I have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Do we have any old business for stormwater? Do we have any new business for stormwater? Any reports from the directors? Any public expression? And a motion to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. All right. We'll move on to the Hammond Sanitary District meeting. Election of officers.
Mr. President, I'd like to nominate Pam, yourself, as president of the board for 2023.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other nominations? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Nomination passes or motion passes, whatever. Okay, vice president. Can I have a nomination?
I'll make a nomination to nominate Mike Dye as vice president.
Thank you. Can I have a second?
Second.
Any other nominations? Nominations are closed. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Secretary and assistant secretary. I have a nomination.
A nomination for Rachel Montes to be the secretary and for Kaleigh to be the assistant.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other nominations? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. We'll move on to the consideration of the December 13th, 2022 board meeting minutes. Can I have a motion to approve? Have a second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Next is our CEO's report.
Thank you, Mr. President. Everything for the first of the year seems to be moving nicely. We like the warm weather, although our bugs do not. They don't like going from 60 degrees one day into some chilling cold weather the next. But other than that, everything's running very, very well. We talked briefly about the Kennedy Avenue project. That line is starting to leak again. If you remember, fortunately, we had bought all of the lining pipe 2 years ago prior to COVID. So we beat that inflation of that cost, but we were hoping that we could at least get another year or so of not having to address that, but as I'm being told that no longer is going to happen. It's starting to leak a little bit more than it was in the past. And if you remember, that's crosses underneath part of the railroad line there off Kennedy Avenue. So that's an issue, and that's where it's leaking. So we're going to move forward with that, although Rachel would wish we could have held off a little bit because it's going to be a big ticket number currently out for bids. But like I said, the good thing is that we had already bought the liner for that. So that was a big cost. And we beat it before the inflation of COVID happened. So other than that, things are well. We have 3 or 4 vacancies as operators and a couple other throughout the plant. As I'd indicated to the mayor before the end of the year, we like holding off on getting those employees only because there's a lot of employees that take vacation. It's a slow time and it's not really a good training time where we can concentrate with a new employee. So we always wait to the first quarter of the year. So Jeff and I interviewed a prospective candidate before the end of last week. I told Jeff that we need to push for more female operators because of the fact that we had one and she retired a couple of years ago. And I like a real diverse group of people. So we ran across someone that was, I think that could be, if she likes it, a good operator. So I told Jeff this morning to move forward to hire her. Jeff thought she interviewed well. I thought she interviewed well. The thing is, her background comes from something completely different. So I called her and I told her what my thoughts were. And she said, yes, I want her interview. When she came in, very intelligent young lady from Hammond and highly recommended by some people I know. So we'll soon find out, but I have high hopes for her, to be honest. And we have one other that Jeff's going to interview, another female that also comes highly recommended. So I'll keep the board informed on how that goes. Other than that, Mr. President, I'll entertain any questions from board members.
Thank you very much. Any questions? Marty?
Are there any problems anticipated with the problem that force main is underneath the railroad?
So I'm going to let Jeff and Dan handle that. They've had a lot of conversations. Dan, why don't you start off with that?
That's why we kind of went with the lining of it, so we really don't have to deal with the railroad. We won't have to do, do a new line underneath it. We're just using the line that's existing already. We'll bypass pump. The only problem with that is we can't go across all the railroad tracks, the bypass pumping line. So we have to go up on the bridge, across it that way, and come down. So kind of got a plan for it.
Because of my experiences, the railroads are impossible. They own the country.
Yeah. So there's no arguing with them. So that's how. Deal with that.
Good way to go.
After.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you very much. All right, we'll move on. There's no personnel report, financial report from November 30, 2022.
President, motion to approve.
Thank you. Have a
Second.
second, a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes. So the financial report for December 31, 2022 still in the works?
It's still in the works. Yes,
Okay.
we're down one statement.
All right, so we'll get that at the next meeting.
So do we need a table number 7, Joe?
Do they need to
So
take
it's
number
on the
7?
agenda, we
since
should
it's not
table
on the
number
agenda
7.
and not included?
The financial report
Oh,
for December.
I think we can, you can act on it if you choose.
Well, the report's not done.
Then we never received the statements.
Table it then?
Table,
I'm sorry, yes. Table it or.
I'd like the table number 7, please, for the financial report, December 31st, 2022.
Thank you. Have a second to
moved.
that?
I know.
second,
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right. Department reports. Any reports from the departments to start the year? Thank you. Do we have any questions for the departments? Thank you very much. We'll move on to the consultant reports. We'll start with Mike Hickey. He's online. Hi, Mike.
Hi, good afternoon. You should have a copy of my status report. Not a lot to report this period. Half of it was the holidays, but if you have any questions on the report, I'd be happy to answer them.
Any questions for Mike? All right, we'll move on to Donahue, Natalie.
Yeah, you have a report for me. I don't have any highlighted.
Any questions? Thank you very much. We'll move on to resolutions. Resolution number 1-2023. A resolution of the Board of Sanitary Commissioners of the Sanitary District of Hammond, Lake County, Indiana, for planning, design, and management engineering services.
motion to approve. Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Bank reconciliation document dated December 31, 2022. That's not included as well, correct? Okay, so we'll have that at the next meeting. So can I have a motion to table item number 11 from the agenda?
I'll make a motion, table 11.
Can I have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Number 12 on the agenda, claims approval docket 01-10-23.
I'll make a motion to approve the claims approval docket.
Thank you.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. That moves us to old business. Do we have any old business to discuss today?
I might ask, and I just thought of it, status between Griffith and Highland and the bus service study, et cetera.
So it's a good question, and ironically, at our staff meeting earlier today, we did discuss that same question, Commissioner. Council's indicated to me that because of the holidays and a lot of folks and attorneys take a vacation, they're just starting to get back into the mode. My main question that was, where are we with Griffith? Because I thought we were just getting close to signing contracts and agreements. I will say that Whiting has been paying their full share. We did a true up with them on some of the stuff prior to the engagement date. And it added up to a little over 100,000, and they sent the check immediately. And so they are paying everything based on the rate study. Griffith is paying everything on the rate study, Jeff?
Yes, sir.
Is also paying everything on the rate study, just that we do not have a formal signed agreement with them yet. Joe, I think we have a draft. And then just Highland, if you just want to touch briefly about Highland.
Highland is a work in progress. And we've had lots of communication. I think the issues are narrowing and we expect to have something good to report to the board quickly.
They're paying at the old rate still, correct?
What is Highland paying at, Jeff?
They're paying the so-called interim rate.
They're paying
and
their old rate.
Billing them the new rate and we're charging. See how that works.
Plus interest. Yeah.
Thank God we have a lawyer that doesn't go on vacation.
He never does. He rarely ever, I tell him.
My life is so boring.
Or had a debit card.
He got one now, so his life's gonna change.
Now, no excuse.
Thank you.
All right, anything else under old business? We'll move on to new business. I don't have anything under new business. Do you have anything to discuss on that? No. Any reports from commissioners? Any public expression?
You're the public.
All right, since there isn't any, can I have a motion to adjourn? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, any opposed? Thank you very much. Looking forward to a great 2023.